Welcome back to What's Up Oxford. Our next guest is Dr. Grace Vincent, just won Mrs. Global World Pageant in Dubai. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about Mrs. Global World Pageant. What's it all about?
Well, this is a beauty pageant for women who are empowered. These are women empowered. And there are about 45 countries who competed for this. And we covered all the continents. And this is the first time actually for the Middle East to join. So we have Miss Saudi Arabia, Miss Tunisia, we have Azerbaijan, and all the other places that you're not really familiar with. But these are all really strong women who went to compete for this.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And have you been involved with this pageant before?
When I was younger, yeah, I went into beauty pageants before. And in fact, this pageant, from your country, you have to compete for the national title for it to join the international. So in my case, my producer on television before and my designer, they called me and they said they choose me to be on that pageant. I said, well, I didn't compete for it. I said, oh, we know that you know how to do it, so you're on.
And you were representing the Philippines?
Yes, I represented the Philippines, and I asked them that, I said, I have been living in Canada for 15 years, and how can I represent the Philippines? They said, well, you were naturally born in the Philippines. And that time, what's the funny thing is, when we left for Dubai, I was still holding my Philippine passport. But the day after I returned to Canada, I became a Canadian citizen. So that's still counted as this Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how many women were there?
45 of us.
45, that's
yes,
right.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
And what sort of things were we talking about?
So here, for you to qualify as one of the contestants, you have to have a video. You have to have a video presentation of your advocacies. Should be like community advocacy, children advocacy. And you have to be a mother, because we have the Mrs. World competition, the title. And you have to show that you are an empowered woman.
Wow. And so you had to give a speech?
Yes. So what's the difference with this, with Mrs. World, is we didn't have the on-stage question and answer, but instead we have a one-day workshop for this, where we were given a topic and you have to express yourself. You have to really show your intellect and to really tell them about that, because it was about advocacies and how you stand for it.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty much intense, actually.
Well, you've had a little bit of experience before, you
Yes.
know, presenting. Tell us, what's your background?
So when it comes to beauty pageants, since I was in high school, I've been competing for beauty pageant. And then I was in college also. I was in Miss Dentistry. I was Miss Southwestern for the university. And there were 3 more titles that I won. I was Mrs. Super Mom of Cebu, which is the big city I lived at. And I was also the Queen of Alumni. I still have the crown till now. And so since I moved to Canada, that had, stopped. And it was just very it came just I didn't expect it, that at my age now, at 60, I could still compete for the beauty queen. As a beauty queen.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. Oh, there's competition for that? I'm sure.
Wow. And so you used to host a TV show, is that right?
Yes, I had a talk show for 18 years. I was also a TV actress. So yeah, for 18 years. And the talk show comes once a week, every Saturday. And me being a doctor, I could, invite some doctors or any people from the health department or health career, and we will talk about their expertise. And also on the side, I do acting on like a soap opera kind of thing.
Wow, that's great. Yes. And so you live in Woodstock now?
Yes, I live in Woodstock now for 15 years.
And what do you do here?
So when I came here, I'm a maxillofacial surgeon. And so when I came to Canada, it was very difficult to go back again to school for the 4 years. And so I work at the hospital as a volunteer at the mammogram department. And then I do a little bit of work at this here and there and some business as well. And then before I left for Dubai, I was working with VUN as a fitness instructor.
Oh, wow.
Well, I just want to tell you also that because of my advocacy with children, with my career, with my profession, I travel around the world, especially poor countries in the world, to give free services to children and people who need my service.
Wow. How often do you travel?
Before the COVID, like we're just home for 4 days, or the longest would be 2 weeks, and we'll be in Mexico, we'll be in Belize, we will be anywhere in the world when they need me. And because Doug's also is an ambassador for United Nations for Rotary, and usually he's invited to speak, and I go to work. He speaks, I work. So that is a really good team up for both of us, that I can give my free service to people.
Wow.
Yeah, who are in need. Yeah.
That's amazing things that you guys are doing.
Yeah, I love it. It is just an amazing privilege to be able to do that.
And you must have met some amazing people on the road.
Oh yeah, I have lots and lots and tons of stories which I have not learned before, or I didn't know before. It is just a great experience, knowing the culture, knowing people, meeting people, and it is very rewarding.
Wow, what a great story. Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you for everything that you do in our community.
Yes, and thank you also for giving me the privilege to be here. Yeah.
That's great. We'll be right back after the break.